It's all dark overhead. But there's another long passage. And there's the white rabbit. Oh, wait for me.
Oh, my ears. Oh, my whiskers.
Oh, your whiskers. Oh, your ears.
Oh, the Duchess.
The Duchess?
Won't she be savage?
Savage?
Yes, the Duchess, she'll be savage. Oh, my whiskers. Oh, my ears.
Your poor whiskers. Your poor ears. Oh, it's turned the corner. Nowhere to be seen. Oh, a long, low hall with a row of lamps hanging from the roof and doors all around. Oh, all locked. I'll try this side. Oh, I wonder how I shall ever get out again. Oh, here's a little three-legged table made of solid glass and a tiny golden key on it. Perhaps it fits one of the doors. Oh, well, either the lock's too large or the key is too small. At any rate, it won't open this one. Oh, what's this? A curtain. I didn't notice that before. Ah, a little door. It can't be more than 15 inches high. If I can just stoop down. It fits. Oh, it's a passage, but it's no bigger than a rat hole. I'll kneel down. Oh, what a wonderful garden. I've seen it in my dreams, where everything is order, and fountains and crystal streams. The lawns are smoother than velvet, the rouge is whiter than snow. Oh, how I long for that garden I dreamed of so long ago. Oh, how I long for that garden I dreamed of so long ago. But I can't even get my head through. And even if my head would go through, it would be of very little use without my shoulders. Oh, how I wish I could close up like a telescope. I think I could if only I knew how to begin. So many out-of-the-way things have happened lately, I've begun to think that very few things are really impossible. Perhaps there's another key on the table. Or at any rate, a book of rules for shutting people up like telescopes. No, but there's a little bottle with a paper label round its neck. Certainly not. I'll look first to see whether it's marked poison or not. However, this bottle is not marked poison, so I'll taste it. It's very nice. It has a sort of mixed flavour of cherry tart and custard and pineapple and roast turkey and toffee and hot buttered toast. Oh, it's all gone. Oh, what a curious feeling. I must be shutting up like a telescope. Oh, why, I'm only 10 inches high. But at least I'm the right size to go through the little door into that lovely garden. I think I'll wait a few moments to see if I'm going to shrink any further.
Roll down like a candle till
become of me? I'm trying to fancy what the flame of a candle is like after it is blown out. I can't recall ever having seen such a thing. How curious. Things are curiouser and curiouser and curiouser and curiouser and curiouser. I've begun to wonder if I'll understand at all how things stand in Wonderland, or if I'm only dreaming. Nothing more is happening. I think I shall go into the garden at once. Oh, I've forgotten the little golden key. It's still on the table. Oh, and I can't possibly reach it now. I can see it quite plainly through the glass. I'll climb up one of the table legs. Oh. Come, there's no use crying like that. I advise you to leave off this minute. Oh, advise. I once boxed my own ears for trying to cheat myself at croquet. But it's no use now trying to pretend to be two people. Why, there's hardly enough left of me to make one respectable person. Oh, there's a little glass box lying under the table. And there's something in it. A very small cake. And there's something written on it, marked in currants. I eat it. Which way? Which way? I'll put my hand on the top of my head to feel which way it's growing. Oh, I'm still the same size. And to be sure, one generally stays the same size when one eats cake. I'll finish it off. I'm opening out into the largest telescope that ever was. Goodbye, feet. They're almost out of sight. They're getting so far off. Oh, my poor little feet. You must manage the best way you can. But I must be kind to them, or perhaps they won't walk where I want to go. Let me see. I'll send them a new pair of boots every Christmas. To Alice's right foot, Esquire, half rubbed near the fender with Alice's love. Oh, dear, what nonsense I'm talking. Oh! My head. That's the roof of the hall. I must be more than 9 feet high. There is the little golden key. There. Now for the garden door. Oh. Even if I lie down on one side, it's as much as I can do to look through the door into the garden with one eye. I'll never get through now. Oh, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. A great big girl like you to go on crying in this way. Stop it this moment, I tell you.
Oh, my ears. Oh, my whiskers.
Oh, your whiskers. Oh, your ears.
The Duchess. Oh, she's savage.
Why, the Duchess? Why, she's so savage.
Oh, my ears. Oh, my whiskers. Oh, my whiskers. Oh, my ears.
If you please, sir.
Oh.
I'm so big I frightened it. I must have shed gallons of tears. A pool. It must be 4 inches deep, I should think. And it reaches halfway down the hall. What's this? A pair of little white kid gloves and a fan. The white rabbit must have dropped them. Oh, it's so hot down here. Dear, how queer everything is today. I wonder if I've been changed in the night for some other little girl. I'll try if I know all the things I used to. How does the little bitty bee improve each shining hour? Oh, my voice sounds so hoarse and strange. How doth the little crocodile improve his shining tail, and all the waters of the Nile on every shining sail? How cheerfully he seems to grin, how neatly spreads his claws, and welcomes little fishes in with gently smiling jaws. Oh, I put on one of the White Rabbit's gloves without thinking. How can I have done that? It must be the fan. Things are curiouser and curiouser and curiouser and curiouser and curiouser. I've begun to wonder if I'll understand at all how things stand in Wonderland, or if I'm only dreaming. I can grow down like a candle, be as small can be, grow up like a telescope, and oh, what will become of me? Things are curiouser and curiouser and curiouser and curiouser and curiouser. I've begun to wonder if I'll understand at all how things stand in Wonderland. If cats eat bats, if bats eat cats,
If bats eat cats, if cats eat bats.
if cats eat bats, if bats eat cats, and cats and bats and bats and cats. Oh, I must have fallen into the sea. In that case, I can go back by railway. No, it's the pool of tears I went when I was 9 feet high. I wish I hadn't cried so much. I shall be punished for it now, I suppose, by being drowned in my own tears. But what's that? It must be a walrus or a hippopotamus. Oh, no, it's only a mouse. Oh, mouse, do you know the way out of this pool? Perhaps it doesn't understand English. I dare say it's a French mouse. Come over with William the Conqueror. Now, what's the first sentence in my French lesson? Oh, yes. Où est ma chatte?
Ma chatte. What's that?
Ma chatte. My cat. I wish I could show you our cat Dinah. She's such a dear, quiet little thing, and she's such a capital one for catching mice. Oh, I do beg your pardon. Oh, dear, I've offended it, and all the other animals, too.
Let us get to the shore, and then I'll tell you my history, and you'll understand why it is I hate cats. Now sit down, all of you, and listen to me. I'll soon make you dry enough. Come along now in a large ring.
Fancy being ordered about by a mouse. If only I wasn't so small. I'm hardly as big as it is.
I beg your pardon.
Nothing.
Are you all ready?
What a queer-looking party. Oh, mouse, I'm sure I shall catch a bad cold if I don't get dry very soon.
This is the driest thing I know. William the Conqueror, whose cause was favored by the Pope, was soon submitted to by the English, who wanted leaders and had been of late much accustomed to usurpation and conquest. Edwin and Morcar, the Earls of Mercia and Northumbria. I beg your pardon. Did you speak, Laurie?
Not I.
I thought you did. I proceed. Edwin and Morcar the Earls of Mercia and Northumbria declared for him, and even Stigand, the patriotic Archbishop of Canterbury, found it advisable.
Found what?
Found it. Of course, you know what it means.
I know what it means well enough when I find a thing. It generally means a frog or a worm. The question is, what did the Archbishop find?
Found it advisable to go with Edgar Atheling to meet William and offer him the crown. William's conduct at first was moderate, but the insolence of the Normans. How are you getting on now, my dear?
As wet as ever. It doesn't seem to dry me at all.
What do you move, Dodo?
I move that the meeting adjourn for the immediate adoption of more energetic remedies. Because the best thing to get us dry would be a caucus race.
What is a caucus race?
Why, the best way to explain it is to do it.
Oh.
First, we mark out a race course in a sort of circle. The exact shape doesn't matter. Now you stand here, and you here, and you here, and you here, and you here, and I stand here. Now you just begin running when you like, and you leave off when you like.
We run a caucus race. We're never rough or raucous. It's capital for talkers, 'cause it's a walker's race. We make a gentle pace. We never want a placing. Don't care which way we're facing. We love our caucus race. We run a caucus race. We're never rough or raucous. It's capital for talkers, 'cause it's a walker's race. We make a gentle pace. We never want a placing. Don't care which way we're facing. We love our caucus race. We run a caucus race. We never rough or raucous. It's capital for talkers, 'cause it's a walker's race. We make a gentle pace. We never want a placing. Don't care which way we're facing. We love our caucus race. It's capital for talkers, 'cause it's a walker's race. 'Cause it's a walker's race. Walker's race. We never rough or raucous. It's capital for talkers, 'cause it's a walker's race. We make a gentle pace. We never want a placing. Don't care which way we're facing. We love our walker's race. We love our walker's race. We love our walker's race.
Dodo? Who's won?
Who's won?
He doesn't know.
He's sitting down.
One finger pressed against his forehead.
That is the position in which you usually see Shakespeare in pictures of him.
I didn't know that.
You don't know anything.
Quiet. Dodo's made up his mind. Who's won?
Everybody. Everybody has won, and all must have prizes.
But who is to give the prizes?
I see, of course.
He's pointing at me.
Prizes.
But I haven't any prizes. Oh, wait. I have a box of comfits.
Comfits.
Luckily, the salt water hasn't got into them. Here's one for the duck, one for the mouse, one for the lorry, and one for the dodo, and one for the magpie, and one for the canary, and one for each of her children, and one for the crab.
Don't forget the crab's child.
Oh dear. No, there. There. Exactly one piece all round.
But she must have a prize herself, you know.
Of course. What else have you got in your pocket?
Oh, only a thimble.
Hand it over here. Gather round. We beg your acceptance of this elegant thimble.
Oh, what an elegant bar.
Thank you.
Next thing is to eat the comfits.
Oh, Canary's choking. I'll tap her on the back.
Now, Mouse, tell us something more.
You promised to tell us your history, you know. Please, oh mouse.
Maine is a long and sad tale.
It is a long tale, certainly. But why do you call it sad?
Not that tale.
Tie a knot in your tail.
You insult me by talking such nonsense.
Oh, you're so easily offended, you know. It's gone. I wish I had our Dinah here. She'd soon fetch the mouse back.
And who is Dinah, if I might venture such a question?
Dinah's our cat. And she's such a capital one for catching mice, you know. Oh, you can't think. And I wish you could see her after the birds. Oh, she'd eat a little bird as soon as you look at it. Oh, dear.
I really must be getting home. The night air doesn't suit my throat.
Oh, wait, my dear. It's high time you're on this bed.
We make a gentle pace. We never want to face it. No matter which way we're facing, we love our caucus race.
Oh, I wish I hadn't mentioned Dinah. Nobody seems to like her down here, and I'm sure she's the best cat in the world. My dear Dinah, I wonder if I shall ever see you any more. Oh, perhaps the mouse has changed its mind and is coming back to finish its story.
Oh, my ears, oh, my whiskers, oh, my whiskers, oh, my ears. The Duchess, oh, my dear paws, oh, my fur and whiskers. She'll get me executed as sure as pennants of pennants. Where can I have dropped them, I wonder?
Oh, he's looking for the fan and the pair of white kid gloves. I can't see them anywhere. Everything seems to have changed since the swim in the pool. The hall and the glass table and the little door have all vanished completely.
Mary Ann, what are you doing here? Run home this moment and fetch me a pair of gloves and a fan. Quick now.
Oh, yes, sir. He took me for his housemaid. How surprised he'll be when he finds out who I am. But I better take him his fan and gloves. That is, if I can find them. He pointed this way. Oh, yes. A neat little house and a bright brass plate. W. Rabbit. I hope I don't meet the real Mary Ann. I shall be turned out of the house before I've found the fan and gloves. How queer it seems to be going messages for a rabbit. Oh, perhaps this table under the little window. Ah, a fan and 3 pairs of little white kid gloves. Oh, what's this little bottle near the looking glass? It doesn't say drink me, but I know something interesting is sure to happen whenever I eat or drink anything. So I'll just see what this bottle does. Oh, I do hope it'll make me grow large again, for really I'm quite tired of being such a tiny little thing. Oh, my head's pressing against the ceiling. If I don't stoop, it'll break my neck. Oh, that's quite enough. I hope I shan't grow any more. As it is, I can't get out of the door. I do wish I hadn't grown quite so much. Oh, if I lie down with one elbow against the door and the other arm curled around my head. But I'm still growing and growing. I've put one arm out of the window and one foot foot up the chimney. Now, there. There's nothing more I can do, whatever happens. Oh, what will become of me? Oh, I seem to have stopped, but it's very uncomfortable. I'll never get out of this room, ever. Oh, it was much pleasanter at home when one wasn't always growing larger and smaller and being ordered about by mice and rabbits.
Marianne! Marianne! Fetch me my gloves this moment.
Oh, I mustn't tremble so. I'll shake the whole house. I must be about 1,000 times as large as the rabbit. I've no reason to be afraid of it. It can't open the door. My elbow's jammed against it.
Ah, then I'll go round by the window.
That you won't.
Now, up to the window.
I'll spread my hand out like so and snatch at him. I think it's just possible he may have fallen into a cucumber frame or something of that sort.
Oh, the bat, the mole, the bat. Where are you?
Sure, then I'm here, digging for apples, Your Honour.
Digging for apples indeed. Here, come and help me out of this. Oh. Now, tell me, Pat, what's that in the window?
Oh, sure, it's an arum, Your Honour.
An arum? Oh, now, goose, whoever saw one that size? Why, it fills the whole window.
Oh, sure it does, Your Honour, but it's an arum for all that.
Well, it's got no business there at any rate. Now, go and take it away.
Sure, I don't like it, Your Honour, at all.
Now, do I tell you, you coward.
I think I'll just spread out my hand and make another snatch. What a number of cucumber brains there must be. I wonder what they'll do next. As for pulling me out of the window, I only wish they could. I'm sure I don't want to stay in here any longer.
Now, where's the other ladder?
Why, I hadn't to bring but one. Bill's got the other.
Oh, Bill, fetch it here, lad.
Here, put him up at this corner.
Tie them together first. They don't reach half high enough yet.
They'll do well enough. Now, don't be particular.
Here, Bill, can't hold of this rope.
Now, will the roof bear? Oh, mind that loose slate. Oh, it's coming down.
No, who did that? It was Bill, I fancy.
Who's going to go down the chimney?
Oh, nay, I shan't. You do it.
That I won't then.
No, Bill's to go down.
Here, Bill. The master says you're to go down the chimney.
So Bill's got to go down the chimney, has he? Why, they seem to put everything upon Bill. I wouldn't be in Bill's place for a good deal. The fireplace is narrow, to be sure, but I think I can kick a little. Oh, this is Bill. There!
Hold up his head. Brandy, no. Don't choke him. Now, how was it, old fella? What happened to you? Tell us all about it.
Well,
That's Bill.
well, I hardly know. No more, thank you. I'm better now, but I'm a deal too flustered to tell you. All I know is something comes up at me like a jack-in-the-box, and up I go like a skyrocket.
So you did, old fella.
I know, we must burn the house down.
That's the idea. Yes, burn it.
If you do, I'll set Dynamite Cat at you. I wonder what they'll do next. If they had any sense, they'd take the roof off.
A barrowful will do to begin with.
A barrow full of what? Ow! Oh, they're throwing pebbles. Ow! I'll put a stop to this. You'd better not do that again. The pebbles are all turning into little cakes. If I eat one of them, it's sure to make some change in my size. And as it can't possibly make me larger, it must make me smaller, I suppose. Oh, good. I'm beginning to shrink. Now I can sit up. Now I can kneel. Oh, I can stand. Now I can even get through the door.
There she is! Hey, guinea pigs, hold on to Bill the Lizard. Give him some more out of that bottle. Come on, the rest of you.
This wood's so thick, I must be safe in here. The first thing is to find my way into that lovely garden. And the second thing I've got to do is to grow to my right size again. I suppose I ought to eat or drink something or other. But the great question is, what? Oh, flowers and blades of grass higher than my head, but nothing that looks like the right thing to eat or drink. Oh, here's a mushroom. I look underneath it. And this side. That side. Behind it. Oh, I may as well look to see what's on top of it. Oh, it's a blue caterpillar with its arms folded, smoking a hookah.
Who are you?
I hardly know, sir, just at present. At least, I know who I was when I got up this morning, but I think I must have changed several times since then, and being so many different sizes in a day is very confusing.
It isn't.
Oh, well, perhaps you haven't found it so yet. But when you have to turn into a chrysalis, oh, you will someday, you know, and then after that into a butterfly, I should think you'll feel a little queer, won't you?
Not a bit.
Oh, well, perhaps your feelings may be different. All I know is it would feel very queer to me.
You? Who are you?
It's very irritating in making such very short remarks. I think you ought to tell me who you are first.
Why?
That is a puzzling question. Very well. I shan't ask him.
Come back. I've something important to say. Keep your temper.
Is that all?
No. So you think you're changed, do you?
I'm afraid I am, sir. I can't remember things as I used, and I don't keep the same size for 10 minutes together.
Can't remember what things?
Well, I tried to say, how doth the little busy bee, but it all came different.
Repeat your old Father William.
You are old, Father William, the young man cried. The few locks which are left you are grey. You are hale, Father William, a hearty old man. Now tell me the reason. I can't remember it, sir.
Come, you must.
You are old, Father William, the young man
Said
and your hair
has become very white, and yet you incessantly stand on your
head.
Do you think at your age it is right? In my youth, Father William replied to his son, I feared it might injure the brain. But now that I'm perfectly sure I have none, why I do it again and again.
You are old,
Said the youth,
as I mentioned before, and have grown most uncommonly fat. Yet you turned a black somersault in at the door. Pray, what is the reason for that?
in my youth
Said the sage as he shook his grey locks.
I kept all my limbs very supple. By the use of this ointment, 1 shilling the box. Allow me to sell you a couple.
You are old,
Said the youth,
and your jaws are too weak for anything tougher than suet. Yet you finish the goose with the bones and the beak. Pray, how did you manage to do it?
in my youth
Said his father.
I took to the law and argued each case with my wife. And the muscular strength which it gave to my jaw has lasted the rest of my life.
You are old,
said the youth.
One would hardly suppose that your eye was as steady as ever, yet you balanced an eel on the end of your nose. Oh, what makes you so awfully clever?
I have answered 3 questions, and that is enough.
Said his father.
Don't give yourself airs. Do you think I can listen all day to such stuff? Be off, or I'll kick you downstairs. I'll kick you downstairs.
That was not right.
Not quite right, I'm afraid. Some of the words have got altered.
It is wrong from beginning to end.
Oh.
What size would you like to be?
Well, I should like to be a little larger, sir, if you wouldn't mind. 3 inches is such a wretched height to be.
It is a very good height indeed. I am exactly 3 inches high.
Oh, but I'm not used to it. Oh, I wish the creatures wouldn't be so easily offended.
You'll get used to it in time.
He's getting down off the mushroom and crawling away into the grass.
One side will make you grow taller, and the other side will make you grow shorter.
One side of what? The other side of what?
Of the mushroom.
How can there be 2 sides of it? It's perfectly round. I know. I'll stretch my arms round it as far as they'll go and break off a bit of the edge with each hand. Now, which is which? I'll nibble a bit of the right-hand bit.
Oh, my chin! It struck against my foot. Oh, I'm shrinking and shrinking. I must try and eat some of the other bit. My chin's pressed so closely against my foot, there's hardly room to open my mouth. Oh!
Oh! Come! My head's free at last.
Oh! No! Where are my shoulders? All I can see is an immense length of neck, like a stalk growing out of the green down there. What can that green stuff be? And where have my shoulders got to? And oh, my poor hands! How is it that I can't see you? Well, if I can't get my hands up to my head, perhaps I can get my head down to my hands. Oh, my neck will bend in any direction I want it to. I'll see if I can dive in through the top of the trees and find my shoulders.
Serpent!
It's a pigeon.
Serpent! As if it wasn't trouble enough hatching the eggs, but I must be on the lookout for serpents night and day. Why, I haven't had a wink of sleep these 3 weeks.
I'm very sorry you've been annoyed.
Rattling down from the sky like that.
But I'm not a serpent, I tell you. I'm a...
Well, what are you? I can see you're trying to invent something.
Well, I'm a little girl.
A likely story indeed. I've seen a good many little girls in my time, but never one with such a neck as that. I suppose you'll be telling me next that you never tasted an egg.
I have tasted eggs, certainly. But little girls eat eggs quite as much as serpents do, you know.
You're looking for eggs, I know that well enough. And what does it matter to me whether you're a little girl or a serpent?
It matters a good deal to me, but I'm not looking for eggs as it happens. And if I was, I shouldn't want yours. I don't like them raw.
Oh, well, be off then.
My neck keeps getting entangled in the branches. Oh, left-hand mushroom.
Right-hand mushroom.
Left.
Right.
Left.
Right. There! I've succeeded in bringing myself down to my usual height. It's so long since I've been anything like near the right size, it feels quite strange. Come, there's half my plan done now. The next thing is to get into that beautiful garden. How is it to be done, I wonder? Oh, a clearing in the wood and an open place with a little house about 4 feet high. Whoever lives there, it'll never do to come upon them this size. Why, I shall frighten them out of their wits. Let me see if I nibble at this right-hand bit of mushroom again. There, 9 inches high. I think that's the right size. Now for the little house. Who's this? I suppose he must be a footman, because he's in a wig and livery. Judging by his face, I should have said he was a fish. Another footman opening the door. At least he's in livery too. But he has such a round face and large eyes like a frog. I'll creep a little way into the clearing and listen.
Here's an invitation from the Queen.
From the Queen, from the Queen.
Yes, an invitation from the Queen. With her Grace the Duchess to be seen.
To be seen, to be seen. Is her Grace the Duchess to be seen.
It's an invitation to play croquet.
To play croquet, to play croquet.
Yes, an invitation from the Queen. If her Grace the Duchess cares to play.
From the Queen, for the Duchess.
From the Queen,
for the Duchess.
From the Queen,
for the Duchess. For the Duchess.
For the Duchess to play croquet.
Here's an invitation from the Queen.
To play croquet.
To play croquet. Yes, an invitation from the Queen. If her Grace the Duchess cares to play.
You're very humble.
On the contrary, you're very humble.
My wig appears to have become entangled in yours.
On the contrary, my wig appears to have become entangled in yours.
I must run back into the wood or they'll hear me. So, that is where the Duchess lives, the rabbit is so frightened of. But I wonder why he said she would be so savage. Oh, the fish footman has gone, and the frog is sitting near the door, staring stupidly up at the sky. I'll go and knock.
There's no sort of use in knocking, and that for 2 reasons. First, because I'm on the same side of the door as you are. Secondly, because they're making such a noise inside, no one could possibly hear you.
Please, then how am I to get in?
Oh, there might be some sense in your knocking if we had the door between us. For instance, if you were inside, you might knock and I could let you out, you know?
But what am I to do?
Anything you like.
Oh, there's no use in talking to him. He's perfectly idiotic. It's enough to drive one crazy. Oh, my goodness. The kitchen. And it's full of smoke from one end to the other. That must be the Duchess sitting in the middle on the 3-legged stool nursing a baby. And that must be the cook stirring the soup. There's certainly too much pepper in it. Perhaps that's why she's so savage. Everyone's sneezing. The only things in the kitchen that aren't sneezing are the cook and that large cat sitting on the hearth. It's grinning from ear to ear. Please, Your Grace, would you tell me why your cat grins like that?
It's a Cheshire Cat, and that's why. Pig!
Oh, she's talking to the baby. I thought she meant me. I didn't know that Cheshire Cats always grinned. In fact, I didn't know cats could grin.
They all can, and most of them do.
I don't know any that do.
You don't know much, and that's a fact.
Oh, perhaps I should introduce another subject. The cook's taking the cold fish soup off the fire. Oh, she's throwing everything at the Duchess and the baby. The fire irons, and the saucepans, and the plates and the dishes. Oh, please mind what you're doing. Oh, there goes his precious nose. Oh, that saucepan very nearly carried it off.
everybody minded their own business, the world would go round a good deal faster than it does.
Which would not be an advantage. Just think what work it would make with the day and the night. You see, the Earth takes 24 hours to turn round on its axis.
Talking of axes, chop off her head.
Oh, she is savage. But the cook doesn't seem to be listening. 24 hours, I think. Or is it 12?
Oh, don't bother me. I never could abide figures. Speak roughly to your little boy.
No, that's not it at all. Speak gently to the little child.
Speak roughly to your little boy and beat him when he sneezes.
Its love be sure to gain. Teach it in accents soft and mild. It may not long remain.
He only does it to annoy because he knows it teases. Wow, wow, wow,
I'm sure that's not right.
Of course it's right. I speak civilly to my boy and beat him when he sneezes. La la la, la la la, for he can thoroughly enjoy the pepper when he pleases. If you like, I must go and get ready to play croquet with the queen.
Please don't throw that frying pan at her. Creature, and it will hold its arms and legs in all directions, just like a starfish, doubling itself up and straightening itself out again. Shh! It's as much as I can do to hold it. If I twist it into a sort of knot and keep a tight hold of its right ear and left foot so as to prevent it from undoing itself, perhaps I can carry it into the open air. If I don't take this child away with me, they're sure to kill it in a day or two. Wouldn't it be murder to leave it behind? Don't grunt. That's not at all the proper way of expressing yourself. Oh, it's trotted away quietly into the wood. If it had grown up, it would have made a dreadfully ugly child, but I think it makes a rather handsome pig. I can think of other children I know who would do very well as pigs, if only one knew the right way to change them.
The Cheshire Puss is here and here, all snug and safe indoors. I smile a while, then I appear, sweetly licking my claws.
There! Now it's sitting on the bough of a tree and grinning again. It looks good-natured. Still, it has very long claws and a great many teeth, so I ought to treat it with respect. It's pleased so far. Would you please tell me which way I ought to go from here?
That depends a good deal on where you want to go to.
I don't much care where,
Then it doesn't matter which way you go.
so long as I get somewhere.
Oh, you're sure to do that, if you only walk long enough.
Well, I suppose there's no denying that. What sort of people live about here?
In that direction lives a hatter, and in that direction lives a marcher. Visit either you like, they're both mad.
But I don't want to go among mad people.
Oh, you can't help that. We're all mad here. I'm mad, you're mad.
How do you know I'm mad?
You must be, or you wouldn't have come here.
I don't think that proves it at all. However, how do you know you're mad?
To begin with, a dog's not mad. You grant that?
I suppose so.
Well then, you see, a dog growls when it's angry and wags its tail when it's pleased. Now I growl when I'm pleased and I wag my tail when I'm angry. Therefore, I'm mad.
I call it purring, not growling.
Call it what you like. Do you play croquet with the Queen today?
I should like it very much, but I haven't been invited yet.
You'll see me there. I smile a while, then disappear.
It vanished. Not very surprising. I'm getting used to queer things happening.
Sweetly licking my claws.
Oh, it's appeared again.
By the by, what became of the baby? I'd nearly forgotten to ask.
It turned into a pig.
I thought it would. I smile a while, then disappear.
It's gone. I expect I shall see it again. No, it hasn't appeared. I think I shall go this way, towards where the March Hare is supposed to live. I've seen hatters before. The March Hare will be much the most interesting. And perhaps, if this is May, it won't be raving mad. At least, not so mad as it was in March.
Sweetly licking my claws.
Oh, really? On the branch of another tree?
Did you say pig or fig?
I said pig, and I wish you wouldn't keep appearing and vanishing so suddenly. You make one quite giddy.
All right. I smile a while, then
it's vanishing quite slowly, beginning at the end of its tail and ending with the grin. The grin's still there. Well, I've often seen a cat without a grin, but a grin without a cat. It's the most curious thing I ever saw in all my life. There's a house with chimneys shaped like rabbit's ears, and the roof thatched with fur. It must be where the March Hare lives. It's so large, I think I must nibble some more of the left-hand mushroom. There, 2 feet high. That should be tall enough to meet a hare.
What day of the month is it, March Hare?
That must be the Mad Hatter. He's shaking a watch.
What day of the month is it?
The 4th.
2 days wrong. I told you butter wouldn't sit correct.
It was the best butter.
Yes, but some crumbs must have got in it as well. You shouldn't have put it in with a brightener.
Well, I'll try dipping it in the tea.
They're resting their elbows on the poor dormouse, but it doesn't seem to mind. I think it's asleep.
It was the best butter, you know.
Excuse me.
No, there's no room.
No room.
No room.
Oh, there's plenty of room. There are places laid all round the tea table.
Have some wine.
I don't see any wine.
There isn't any.
Then it wasn't very civil of you to offer.
It wasn't very civil of you to sit down without being invited.
Your hair wants cutting.
You shouldn't make personal remarks. It's very rude.
Oh. Why is a raven like a writing desk?
Oh, come now, we shall have some fun. I'm glad they've begun asking riddles. I believe I can guess that.
Do you mean that you think you can find out the answer to it?
Exactly so.
Then you should say what you mean.
I do. At least I mean what I say. And that's the same thing, you know.
It's not the same thing. A bit. You might as well say I say what I eat is the same as I eat what I see.
You might just as well say that I like what I get is the same thing as I get what I like.
You might just as well say that I breathe when I sleep is the same thing as I sleep when I breathe.
It's the same with you. Tickle the dormouse, do and move him over.
You wriggle him in the teapot, don't you know?
The riddle is why is the raven like a writing desk?
It'll be clear as mud in half a mo.
It'll be clear as mud in half a mo.
Hickory dickory dock.
Round and round the clock. Round and round and round and round and round the clock we go.
But what's the answer to the riddle?
I have the slightest idea.
Nor I.
I think you might do something better with the time than wasting asking riddles with no answers.
If you do time as well as I do, you wouldn't talk about wasting it. It's him.
I don't know what you mean.
No, of course you don't. Tell her, Hatter.
If you knew time, if you knew time, if you knew time as I do, you would not beat or call him neat. You'd use your wit to woo him. Oh, treat him well, no tongue can tell how time can help and heal. The school bell chimes, but drop a hint and times are flying by to
Leaves. That would be grand, certainly, but then I shouldn't be hungry for it, you know.
Well, not at first, perhaps, but you could keep it at 6 o'clock for as long as you like.
Is that the way you meant?
No, not him. They quarrelled last March, him and Time. Did you tell her, Hatter?
Yes, it was just before he went bad. A concert 'twas, I know, because I rose to stand and sing. The Queen says I'm a murdering the time a-singing. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at. Up above the world so high, like a tea tray in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, twinkle. About you, make it stop. No. And the Queen said, up with my face.
How dreadfully savage! Oh, no.
And ever since then, Time won't do a thing I ask. Always 6 o'clock now. No talks, no ticks. The clock's at 6. The tea things in a clatter. For see the clean white cloth forever spread.
And so's the bread and butter. Take the dog, take the moving on. The riddle is wise, a raven like a writing nest. It'll be clear as mud and half a mole, ho, ho. It'll be clear as mud and half a mole.
So that's why you keep moving round.
Exactly so, as the things get used up, you see.
But what happens when you come to the beginning again?
Now look, suppose we change the subject. I'm getting tired of this. I've heard the young lady tells us a story.
I'm afraid I don't know one.
Well, then the Dormouse shall. Wake up, Dormouse.
I wasn't asleep. I heard every word you fellows were saying.
Tell us a story.
Oh, yes, please do.
And be quick about it, or you'll be asleep again before it's done.
Yeah. Well, once upon a time, there were 3 little sisters. And their names were Elsie, Lacey, and Tilly. And they lived at the bottom of a well.
What did they live on?
Why do you ask that?
I'm always interested in questions of eating and drinking.
They lived on treacle.
Oh, they couldn't have done that, you know. They'd have been ill.
So they were.
Yes.
Very ill.
But why did they live at the bottom of a well?
Oh, take some more tea.
I have had nothing yet, so how can I take more?
You mean you can't take less? It's very easy to take more than nothing.
Nobody asked your opinion.
Who's making personal remarks now?
Yes.
Well, I will take some tea and some bread and butter. Now, why did they live at the bottom of a well?
It was a treacle well.
There's no such thing.
Oh, shush! You can't be civil. You better finish the story for yourself.
No, please. No, please go on. I won't interrupt again. I dare say there may be one.
One indeed. And so these 3 little sisters, they were learning to draw, you know.
What did they draw?
Treacle.
Oh, but I don't understand. Where did they draw the treacle from?
Well, you can draw water from a water well, so I think you could draw treacle out of a treacle well, eh, stupid?
But they were in the well.
Of course they were. Welly. Yes, they were learning to draw. Yes. And they drew all manner of things. Everything that begins with an M.
Why an M?
Why not? Oh, pinch him, Hatter.
Everything that begins with an M, such as mouse traps and the moon, and memory, and muchness. You say things are much of a muchness. Did you ever see such a thing as a drawing of a muchness?
Well, really, now you ask me, I don't think...
Well, then you shouldn't talk.
Oh, you are so rude.
Time for tea.
Where are you going?
It is not time for tea.
6 o'clock.
It's always 6 o'clock. It's always time, it's always time, it's always time for tea.
Our only treat, how slow and sweet a life beneath the tree. So hold the golden afternoon, stand still the sun forever, stand still and freeze each gentle breath of breeze. For times are frozen,
times are frozen,
times are frozen river.
2 times are frozen,
3 times are frozen,
4 times are frozen river. 3 times forever, going on and on.
and on and on,
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 and on and on forever.
At any rate, I'm never going there again. If only I could find my way through the wood. That's very curious. A door leading right into a tree. But everything's curious today. I think I may as well go in at once. Oh, but I'm back in the long hall. And there's the little glass table. Now I'll take the golden key. I'm sure I'll manage better this time. I have the mushroom in my pocket. Now, the right-hand piece. There. I must be a foot high. Open the door. Now I can walk down the little passage. At last, I'm in the beautiful garden. Oh. The lawns are smoother than velvet, the roses whiter than snow. Walking at last in the garden I dreamed of so long ago. Playing cards, or are they gardeners? Whatever are they doing to those poor rose bushes?
We're painting roses secretly, secretly, secretly. We paint them so the queen shan't see. They are not quite as they should be.
Look out now, 5. Don't go splashing paint over me like that.
I couldn't help it. 7 jogged my elbow.
That's right, 5. Always lay the blame on others.
You'd better not talk. I heard the Queen say only yesterday you deserve to be beheaded.
What for?
That's none of your business, too.
Yes, that is his business, and I'll tell him. It was for bringing the cook tulip roots instead of onions.
Well, of all the unjust things. Morning, miss.
Morning, miss.
See why you are painting those roses?
Why, the fact is, miss,
We're painting roses secretly, secretly, secretly. We paint them so the queen shan't see. They are not quite as they should be.
what if the rose blossoms and grows white instead of red?
Ain't with the brush, see how they blush, rosy red instead.
You see, miss, this here ought to been a red rose tree in the first place. And if the Queen was to find out, we'd have our heads cut off, you know. So you see, miss, we're doing our best afore she comes.
We paint them so the queen shan't see. They are not quite as they should be. They are not quite as they should be.
More playing cards. Except that they look like soldiers with axes. Oblong and flat with their hands and feet at the corners. Then 10 courtiers, ornamented all over with diamonds, walking 2 by 2. Must be the royal children. 10 of them, the little dears, all jumping merrily along, hand in hand, ornamented all over with hearts. And those must be the guests, kings and queens mostly. But who's that in front of the king and queen of hearts? Oh, it's the white rabbit.
We're on the list. We've never missed a royal occasion. Everyone knows everybody who goes to the garden party. The list. We've never missed a royal occasion. Everyone knows everybody who goes to the garden party. Santa's blowing, Santa's blowing, they're going to the croquet. What a sight to see, high society, when the Queen invites us all to play.
The Knave of Hearts carrying the king's crown on a crimson velvet cushion.
The king and queen of hearts. The king and queen of hearts.
Here comes the king. He's very timid. And the queen, oh, she looks very severe.
Your Majesty.
Idiots!
Your Majesty.
Leave off that! You make me giddy. What have you been doing here?
May it please your Majesty, we were trying.
I see.
You shan't be beheaded. Come and hide in this flower pot.
Off the
It's the White Rabbit.
It's a very fine day.
Very. Where's the Duchess?
Oh, shush, shush, shush. She's under sentence of execution.
What for?
What? Did you say what a pity?
No, I didn't. I don't think it's at all a pity. I said what for?
She boxed the Queen's ears. Oh, shush, shush, shush. The Queen will hear you. You see, she came rather late, and the Queen said,
Can you play croquet?
Oh.
Yes. Come on, then. See how the graceful player stoops to drive the ball between the hoops. In rank and order on the green, see what a peacefully beautiful scene.
Beautiful, peacefully, beautiful, beautiful.
What a peacefully, This isn't the garden I dreamed of. I've never seen such a curious croquet ground. It's all ridges and furrows, and the balls are live hedgehogs, and the mallards look like live flamingos, and the soldiers are having to double themselves up and stand on their hands and feet to make the arches.
The Cheshire Puss is here and here.
It's the Cheshire Cat. Now I shall have somebody to talk to.
How are you getting on?
It's no use speaking to it until its ears have come, or at least one of them.
All snug and safe indoors, I smile a while, then I appear, sweetly licking my claws. There.
What can it mean, there? Only its head has appeared.
Only me head. I'd have said that was enough.
Well, I don't think they play at all fairly. They're all quarrelling so dreadfully, one can't hear oneself speak. And they don't seem to have any rules in particular. And if there are any rules, nobody attends to them. And the Queen's had 3 players executed for missing their turns.
How do you like the Queen?
Not at all. She's so extremely...
Yes, child?
likely to win. That it's hardly worthwhile finishing the game.
Dear child. Who are you talking to?
It's a friend of mine, a Cheshire Cat. Allow me to introduce you.
I don't like the look of it at all. However, it may kiss my hand if it likes.
I'd rather not.
Don't be impertinent. And don't look at me like that.
Oh, a cat may look at a king. I've read that in some book, but I don't remember where.
Well, it must be removed. My dear, I wish you'd have this cat removed.
Off with his head!
I'll fetch the executioner myself.
With his head! With his head!
It can't be done.
With his head!
It can't be
With his head!
It can't be done. It can't be done. It can't be done. You can't cut off a head unless there's a body to cut it all from. No. I've never done such a thing before, and I'm not going to begin at my time of life.
Anything that has a head can be beheaded. And you are not to talk nonsense.
If something isn't done about
time I shall have everybody executed.
The Cheshire Cat belongs to the Duchess. You'd better ask her about it.
She's in prison. Fetch her here.
Come on! Fetch the Duchess! Fetch the Duchess!
With its head!
Off with its head!
With its head!
Off with its head!
Get to your places!
Get to places! Get to
Pink the flamingo, bold is the blow. Behold, the hedgehog rolls even over and over. The soldiers arching leaves between. Say what a peaceful, beautiful scene.
Ah! You can't think how glad I am to see you again, you dear old thing.
Oh, the Duchess. Good day, Your Grace. She seems in quite a pleasant temper. I expect it was the pepper that made her so savage. When I'm a Duchess, I won't have any pepper in my kitchen at all.
You're thinking about something, my dear, and that makes you forget to talk. I can't tell you just now what the moral of that is, but I shall remember it in a bit.
Perhaps it hasn't one.
Tut-tut, child. Everything's got a moral, if only you can find it.
I do wish she wouldn't rest her chin on my shoulder. It's so sharp and it's very uncomfortable, and she is so very ugly. Oh, the game seems to be going on rather better now.
'Tis so. And the moral of it is, oh, 'tis love. 'Tis love that makes the world go round.
Somebody said that it's done by everybody minding their own business.
Oh, well, it means much the same thing. And the moral of that is,
Yes, Mom.
take care of the sense, and the sounds will take care of themselves.
How fond she is of finding morals in things.
I dare say you're wondering why I don't put my arm around your waist. The reason is I'm doubtful about the temper of your flamingo. Shall I try the experiment?
He might bite.
Very true. Flamingos and mustard both bite. And the moral of that is, birds of a feather flock together.
Only mustard isn't a bird.
Right, as usual. What a clear way you have of putting things.
It's a mineral, I think.
Of course it is. There's a large mustard mine near here. And the moral of that is, the more there is of mine, the less there is of yours. The more there is of mine.
They're dreadfully fond of beheading people here. The great wonder is that there's anyone left alive. And to be sure, I have not yet had any dispute with the Queen. But it might happen any minute, and then what will become of me?
Thinking again?
I've a right to think.
Just about as much right as pigs have to fly, and the more...
A fine day, Your Majesty. Now I give you fair warning. Yes, you give me fair warning. Either you or your head must be off. And that in about half no time. That in about half no time. Take your choice. Take your choice. I take my choice. I take my choice. Either I or my head must be off. I take my choice. A moment's delay will cost me my life. Come on, come on.
turtle yet?
No. I don't even know what a mock turtle is.
It's the thing that mock turtle soup is made from.
I never saw one or heard of one.
Come on, then. And he shall tell you his history.
Psst. It's all right. She's gone. You're pardoned, Duchess. You're all pardoned.
Granted. I beg your pardon. Granted, granted.
Griffon, a pleasy thing. And take this young lady to see the mock turtle and to hear his history. I must go back and see after some executions I have ordered.
What fun.
What is the fun?
Why, she. It's all her fancy, that. They never execute nobody, you know. Come on.
Everybody says come on here. I never was so ordered about in all my life. Never.
There, that's him.
Dear, what is his sorrow?
Oh, it's all his fancy, that. He hasn't got any sorrow, you know. Come on. Yeah, this young lady here, she wants folk to know your history, she do.
I'll tell it to her. Sit down, both of you, and don't speak a word till I've finished.
I don't see how he can ever finish if he doesn't begin.
Once I was a real turtle.
There must be something more to come. I can't just get up and say, thank you, sir, for your interesting story.
When we were little, we went to school in the sea. Weary and woeful and low I am when I remember me lessons. The turtle called Tortoise, a very good sort.
A turtle called Tortoise?
Of course, 'cause he taught us reeling and rhyming and all that entails ambition, distraction and bidding at snails. Geography all in the main about whales. So tender remembering lessons.
Oh, drive on, old fella. Don't be all day about it.
We had the best of education. We went to school every day.
I've been to a day school too. You needn't be so proud at all that.
With extras?
Oh yes, we learned French and music.
And washing?
Certainly not.
Then yours wasn't a really good school.
You see, at ours they had at the end of the bill French, music and washing extra. Enrolled as an old boiler, so I am. When I remember me lessons, mystery lessons.
A crab on the reef taught us the essence of laughing in grief.
Taking a kettle to see when it boils.
And uglification held us in its toils. And drawing and stretching and fainting in coils. So tender remembering lessons. less and less and less and less and less. That's why they're called lessons, you see, because they lessen from day to day.
Yes, I do see now.
10 hours we had on the first day, 9 the next, and so on.
Then the 11th day must have been a holiday.
Of course it was.
Tell her about the dancing lessons. I'll slap his back, same as if he had a bone in his throat.
You may not have lived much under the sea.
I haven't.
So you won't remember the dancing.
Croaking and choking and cold though I am, I'll try to remember me lessons. Partner and lobster and both advance.
Set to your partner and off you dance.
Change and retire, well round and throw a lobster as far out to sea as he'll go. Then somersault into the sea like so. So tender remembering lessons. Less and 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 less of any lesson.
It must be a very pretty dance.
Would you like to see a little of it?
Very much indeed.
Let's try the first figure. We can do without the lobsters, you know.
All right, but you sing. I've forgotten the words.
Will you walk a little faster, said a whiting to a snail.
There's a porpoise close behind us and he's treading on my tail.
See how eagerly the lobsters and the turtles all advance. They are waiting on the shingle. Will you come and join the dance?
Will you?
Won't you?
Will you?
Won't you?
Will you join the dance? Will you? Won't you? Will you? Won't you?
Won't you join the dance? Oh, as to the whiting, you've seen them, of course.
I've seen them often. They're all over with crumbs.
Oh, you're wrong about the crumbs. The crumbs would all wash off in the sea. Any shrimp could have told you that. You can really have no notion how delightful it will be
when they take us up and throw us with the lobsters out to sea.
But the snail replied, too far, and gave a look askance. Said he thanked the whiting kindly, but he would not join the dance.
Would not,
could not,
would not,
could not,
would not join the dance.
Would not, could not, would not, could not, join the dance.
Do you know why it's called a whiting?
I never thought about it. Why?
It does the boots and shoes.
Does the boots and shoes?
Yeah, well, I mean, what are your shoes done with? I mean, what makes them so shiny?
They're done with blacking, I believe.
Boots and shoes under the sea are done with whiting. Now you know.
What matters it how far we go, his scaly friend replied.
There is another shore, you know, upon the other side.
The further off from England, the nearer is to France. Then turn not pale, beloved snail, but come and join the dance.
Will you?
Won't you?
Will you?
Won't you?
Will you join the dance?
Will you? Won't you? Will you? Won't you? Won't you? Join the dance.
If I'd been the whiting, I'd have said to the porpoise, keep back, please. We don't want you with us.
They were obliged to have him with them. No wise fish would go anywhere without a porpoise.
Would it really?
Of course not. Why, if a fish came to me and told me he was going a journey, I should say, with what purpose?
You mean with what purpose?
I mean what I say. Come, let's hear some of your adventures.
I could tell you my adventures, beginning this morning, but it's no use going back to yesterday, because I was a very different person then.
That's very curious.
It's about as curious as can be. Well, shall we try another figure? Or would you like the mock turtle to sing you a song?
Oh, a song, please, if the mock turtle would be so kind.
No accounting for tastes. Sing her turtle soup, will you, old fella?
Turtle soup. Beautiful soup, so rich and green, waiting in a hot tureen. Who for such dainties would not stoop? Soup of the evening, beautiful soup, soup of the evening, beautiful soup, beautiful soup, beautiful soup of the evening, beautiful soup. Beautiful soup, who cares for fish, game or any other dish? Who would not give all else for 2 penny worth only of beautiful soup? Penny worth only of beautiful soup. Beautiful soup. Beautiful soup.
Chorus again!
Soup of the evening,
The trial's beginning!
But one trial
beautiful soup.
The Knave of Hearts. He's the one in the middle in chains, in front of the king and queen, with a soldier on either side to guard him.
And all sorts of birds and beasts, and a whole pack of cards. Oh, and the white rabbit with a trumpet in one hand and a scroll of parchment in the other.
King and Queen of Hearts.
And why is there that dish of tarts on the table right in the middle of the court? They look so good, it makes me feel quite hungry to look at them. I do wish they'd get the trial done and hand round the refreshments. Justice before, but I've read about them in books. That is the judge because of his great wig.
That is the king. He wears his crown over his wig. It doesn't look at all comfortable.
It is certainly not very becoming. Oh, and that is the jury box, and those 12 creatures.
Animals and birds.
They can't have anything to put down yet before the trial has begun.
They're putting down their names for fear they should forget them before the end.
We're writing down our names in case we might forget them. If people laugh and get them, to us it's all the same.
Stupid things!
Stupid things!
Silence in court! Silence in court!
A nice muddle their slates will be in before the trial's over.
Herald, read the accusation.
The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts all on a summer day. The Knave of Hearts, he stole those tarts and took them quite away. And took them quite away.
Consider your verdict.
There's evidence to come yet, please, Your Majesty. This paper has just been picked up.
What's in it?
I haven't opened it yet, but it seems to be a letter written by the prisoner.
I never. You had something to say, Knave?
Please, Your Majesty, I didn't write it, and they can't prove I did. There's no name signed at the end.
If you didn't sign it, that only makes the matter worse.
You must have meant some mischief, or else you'd have signed your name like an honest man.
That proves his guilt.
It proves nothing of the sort. Why, you don't even know what they're about.
Read them out.
He's putting on his glasses. We're here to say what passes. Write down what it's about.
Where shall I begin, please, Your Majesty?
Begin at the beginning. Go on till you come to the end, and then stop.
Very well, Your Majesty. They told me you had been to her and mentioned me to him. She gave me a good character, but said I could not swim. He sent them word I had not gone. We know it to be true. If she should push the matter on, what would become of you? I gave her one, they gave him two. You gave him three or more. They all returned from him to you, though they were mine before. If I or he should chance to be involved in this affair, he trusts to you to set them free, exactly as we were. My notion was that you had been, before she had this fit, an obstacle that came between him and ourselves and it. Don't let him know she liked them best, for this must ever be a secret kept from all the rest between yourself and me.
Important piece of evidence we've heard yet. So now let the jury...
If any one of them can explain it, I'll give him sixpence. I don't believe there's an atom of meaning in it.
Oh dear, she says it has no meaning. But it's meaning of meaning.
I wish I wasn't here.
Said I could not swim. Knave of hearts, you can't swim, can you?
Do I look like it?
I suppose he doesn't, as he's entirely made of cardboard.
All right, so far. We know it to be true. Well, it's the jury, of course. I gave her one, they gave him two. Why, that must be what he did with the tarts.
But it goes on. They all returned from him to you.
There they are. The tarts are on the table. I mean, nothing can be clearer than that. Then again, before she had this fit, you never had fits, my dear, I think?
Never.
Well, the words don't fit you. It's a pun. Fit you.
Oh! The queen makes a great mess. Throws in the bill and listen.
It's trickling down his face.
He's trickling down his face.
Consider your verdict.
Not yet. There's a great deal of evidence to come before that.
Oh, call the first witness.
Call the Duchess's cook.
What?
Oh, sorry, and the Duchess.
Speak politely to the king and bless him when he speaks. See cookies scattering the pepper where he
Give your evidence.
Your Majesty must cross-examine this witness.
Well, if I must, I must.
Must he might. His conscience must be clearing. He's frowning so severely. His eyes are out of sight.
What are tarts made of?
Chew. Treacle mostly.
Collar the dormouse. Behead the dormouse. Turn the dormouse out of court. Suppress him. Pinch him. Off with his whiskers.
Ow! However great the risk is, a bag over his whiskers and sit upon him so.
I've often read about that in newspapers. There There was some attempt at applause, but it was suppressed by the officers of the court. I'm glad I've seen it done.
Oh.
It doesn't look any the worse for wear. Are you all right?
Call the next witness.
Oh, I'm beginning to grow larger again.
I wish you wouldn't squeeze so. I can hardly breathe to sleep. Or sleep to breathe.
Call the Mad Hatter!
I can't help it. I'm growing.
You've got no right to grow here.
Oh, don't talk nonsense. You know you're growing too.
Yes, but I grow at a reasonable pace. Not in that ridiculous fashion.
You're the Mad Hatter? What's that you're holding in your hand?
Oh, say this bread with butter spread, this sire hath not offended. I snatched this cup, for I was summoned up before my tea was ended.
You're finished. When did you begin?
The 14th sire of March.
You lie, in March I should remember. It was, I'm sure, the 15th.
The 16th of an ember.
Write that down.
1 and 1 is 3, and 6 and 5 is 7, and 14 pounds 11, and 4
Where are my
pounds 18.
spectacles?
Here, dear. Take off your hat.
It isn't mine.
Stolen?
We'll make a note of that. The hatter's hat is stolen. The victim semicolon. The hatter's hat is
I
hat.
keep them to sell. I have none of my own.
Let me see now. Who was it sang Twinkle Twinkle at the last concert?
Give your evidence and don't be nervous or I'll have you executed.
The hatter's in a fright. Wipes me out of his teacup. He's trying not to hiccup. Let's hope he'll be all right.
Bring me the list of singers in the last concert.
The witness in the box, with nothing to accuse of. He's shaking both his shoes off. He's shaking in his socks.
Give your evidence or I'll have you executed whether you're nervous or not.
Poor man, your majesty.
You're a very poor singer.
Poor man's tea, you would agree, may surely last a week. The state I'm in, I'm yet so thin, the twinkling of the tea.
Oh, the twinkling of the what?
Begins with tea, and as you see...
Twinkling?
Of course twinkling begins with a T. Do you take me for a dunce? Go on.
Twinkling!
What can the queen be twinkling? The hair says why?
Says why that I deny.
He denies it. Leave out that part.
Leave it out. That part is not included.
I wrote it down as you did. Put it to black.
The dormouse sits there blinking.
Twinkle, twinkle, twinkle.
That's a ring by gag. He's knocked his cup and saucer. He's kneeling on the floor, sir. The hatter's going mad.
Twinkle!
If that's all you know about it, you may stand down.
I can't stand down.
Speak up, Hatter, speak up.
I'm on the floor. I can't go any lower.
Well, then you may sit down.
I'd rather eat my tea.
Cup.
That was the man who sang Twinkle Twinkle.
You may go.
And just take his head off outside.
Call the next witness. Really, my dear, you must cross-examine the next witness. It quite makes my forehead ache.
I wonder who the next witness will be. They haven't got much evidence yet.
Call Alice.
Oh, here. Oh! Oh, dear. Oh, I'd forgotten how large I've grown in the last few minutes. I've tipped over the jury box with the edge of my skirt.
Let's show that no one
They look just like a globe of goldfish I upset last week. I must pick them up. If I don't put them back in the jury box, they'll die.
The trial cannot proceed until all the jurymen are back in their proper places. All!
The lizard's upside down, with Justice Taylor waving. He sounds as though he's raving.
Oh, I must put the poor lizard up the right way. Not that it signifies much. I should think it would be quite as much use in the trial one way up as the other.
He's useless sideways. We don't know how he's feeling. He's gazing at the ceiling. The lizard's in a daze.
What do you know about this business?
Nothing.
Nothing whatever?
Nothing whatever.
That's very important.
Important is from her.
He means it's unimportant.
Important and important and important as you were.
Rule 42! All persons more than a mile high to leave the court.
I'm not a mile high.
You are?
Nearly 2 miles high.
Well, I shan't go. Besides, that's not a regular rule. You invented it just now.
It's the oldest rule in the book.
Then it ought to be number 1.
The king is turning pale. The queen is turning purple. A whisper or a chirp. See all of us in jail.
Consider your verdict.
No, sentence first, verdict afterwards.
Stuff and nonsense, the idea of having the sentence first.
Hold the tongue.
I won't. No one seems to be moving. Who cares for you?
Is only a child. I should be too late. I should be too late.
Nothing but a pack of cards.
Wake up, Alice, dear. Why, what a long sleep you've had.
Oh. I've had such a curious dream.
Yes, dear, you must tell it to me. But now run into your tea. It's getting late.
No, but you see, I was getting very tired of sitting beside you on the bank here and having nothing to do. And once or twice I peeped into the book you were reading, but it had no pictures or conversations in it. And I thought, what is the use of a book without pictures or conversations?
Polly James played Alice in Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Her sister was played by Jane Knowles, the White Rabbit by John Moffat, the Mouse by Patricia Routledge, the Duck Alric Cotter, the Lory Elizabeth Bell, the Dodo William Edel, the Eaglet Heather Bell, the Canary Rachel Cook, Pat the Mole Michael Tudor Barnes, Bill the Lizard Anthony Newlands, the Caterpillar Ian Wallace, the Pigeon Elizabeth Bell. The Frog and Fish Footman were played by Michael Harbour and Neville Jason. The Duchess by Patricia Routledge, the Duchess's cook Leslie Fyson, the Baby Jane Knowles, the Cheshire Cat Henry Knowles, the Mad Hatter John Wells, the March Hare John Fortune, and the Dormouse by Richard Goulden. The King and Queen of Hearts were played by Timothy Bateson and Jan Waters. The Knave of Hearts by Kenneth Shanley. The Card Gardeners by Michael Harbour, Gavin Campbell and Anthony Newlands. The Executioner, Leslie Fyson. And The Griffin and Mock Turtle by Clive Francis and Ian Wallace. The Associate Conductor was Michael Reeves. The programme was recorded by Adrian Revill with Michael Black and Chris Gibbs. of the BBC Transcription services. The studio managers were Enid Clews and Diana Barkham. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland was directed by Ian Cotterell in cooperation with John Wells, who adapted the book for radio, and Carl Davis, who composed and conducted the music.
Richard Goulden is appearing in Dirty Linen at the Arts Theatre Club, London.